Hello guys, and welcome to a new Wargame video today by me, Vulcan. So today, before we start actually talking about the game, I did kind of want to give you guys an update as to what's happening with Wargame on the channel. Obviously, you guys have seen lately that I have been doing a lot of Total War, and that's because I've been really enjoying Warhammer. But I also want to bring Wargame back to the channel, and what you guys may not know is that I'm actually quitting my job to go full-time on YouTube. Now this isn't to say that I actually earn enough to do that yet. It's kind of a leap in the dark. I'm kind of just doing basically a leap of faith. I guess that's the best way to put it. I really want to be successful on YouTube, and I'm basically going to try my best to make that happen. So the idea is that I'm going to leave my job, we're going to continue with the Warhammer schedule, but we're also going to add Wargame. And when I say add Wargame, I say add Wargame, like one video a day. Like, this is unprecedented from me. Like, I have never done one video a day of Wargame before, unless it's been either for a tournament or maybe some sort of Wargame week that I've done before. So we will be doing, basically one video of Wargame a day. Which is crazy, and I'm really looking forward to bringing that out for you guys. And then also we have Steel Division coming along. The Steel Division announcement was put out recently, and I'm really looking forward to that game. Like, for real, that is definitely going to be a game I play on my channel. And what's really exciting is that you guys can get your hands on a VIP beta key. So what I'm going to do in the comments, there will be a link. I will just post it straight up. You can fill out the form, and once you've filled out the form, you will get a VIP beta key. There is only 50 available, so first come, first serve. And yeah, hopefully you guys will get your hands on that. It is under NDA, so you can't like go and post it on your channels if you have YouTube and stuff. But it will definitely be a good taster. You can help test the game for the developers, and you can get first-hand experience into the game before anyone else, which is really exciting. So it uses a deck system a lot like Wargame. And the gameplay is a bit different. It's based in World War II, which is great, and I'm just so looking forward to it. So yeah, check out that link. It will be in the comments. Then also look forward to one Wargame video a day, and that will continue even after Steel Division comes out. I'm not planning to leave Red Dragon to do Steel Division. So there you go. That's the future ahead of us. And this was just an update video really to help you guys understand what's happening with the channel, because I know I've completely neglected like most of my other content at the moment. Not so much Heroes and Generals, I've kept that up, but Wargame especially has definitely fallen off the face of my planet. Of my channel. So anyway, here we are guys in the actual game. Let me talk more about this. We are on Plunjing Valley. This is myself and Valh. I'm playing a Israeli deck in this one, and I'm actually going to put it to my point of view so that we can see what we're going to do. And yeah, Valh's playing Commonwealth, I'm playing Israel. So I've got a deck that was actually given to me by Valh because I haven't been playing Wargame a lot recently. I've been a very busy person doing Warhammer so often, and then also I've basically been working full-time days in the week on YouTube, and then on the weekends I work my part-time job. But I'm just leaving my job now so I can continue to do YouTube full-time, which is awesome, but it's going to be really scary because I don't really earn enough money to do it yet. But yeah, leap of faith. Anyway, back to the game. Mac Ak 6-bet Gal is one of my first tanks. I am going to be starting with a Macabre 3D Baz. We do have a couple of Macbeths in there, an Exaret, and we got a Macabre 2A, we got the HVMS, we got a couple of the TCM BTR 152s, they're pretty awesome. Then for starters, I have a Zephyr E and a Seifan, so my recon helicopter of Israel, basically a Kiowa, and then a Zephyr, which is a Cobra with a Stinger missile on it, so anti-air helicopter there. So Val's going to be heading some units over to the left to defend Foxtrot on this side. So he's just brought up a unit of SBS and SAS to defend that. Then he's got a couple of Milan squads heading that way. and the Saxon there as well. He's got a Tornado F2 that's coming out at the start just to check for helicopters, because I believe one of our opponents was using an airborne deck, so we were scared that we might actually get rushed. Either way, my Zephyr E here going to get the kill onto the Mi-8 MTV, which is a really nice kill because that's potentially taken down some infantry as well. Unfortunately, the Zephyr E is going to get taken down by the K-52 in response, but a nice sort of prevention there, stopping these Mi-8 MTVs getting into these buildings. So my Macbeth's going to get into position here to shoot down the Mi-8 MTV on the right, and Tide's going to lose that. We have a couple of Hamers here. These are the Humvees moving up to the town, just trying to get a good position as quickly as possible. Got the TCMs following up because these sort of Humvees, because they're quick and they have wheels, they're like motorized units. We need motorized AA to support them, which is exactly why I have the TCM, and as you can see, they destroy helicopters as soon as they get in range. So that's very, very useful. Su-25 coming into the mix, and he is going to target my BTR-152s and take out both of them, but straight into the range of my Macbeths, and he's going to lose that Su-25. So I'm not sure if he thought that the TCMs were the only AA I had, and he didn't really realise I had Macbeths, but either way, Macbeth's doing a great job, and this HVMS absolutely destroying the forces coming into this town. All of the APCs there got absolutely annihilated by the AP shells of the HVMS. HVMS can't actually target VDV because it doesn't have any HE value, but it's great against APCs. So the Macaque 6 Gal is firing at the BTRDs on the far right to try and prevent any flanking maneuvers, and is now supporting the Zanhanen and the Revet 90 in the town. So my Hamers have been pushed forwards just to soak up some of the rockets from the Mi-8Ts, and then that allows my Macbeth to wheel up into range and shoot them down, just to get rid of that fire support. Got one Macbeth back here that's kind of been detract. This is quite a close engagement between the Ka-52 and the Macbeth. Macbeth manages to stay in range to kill the Ka-52, but the Ka-52 there could have very well destroyed my Macbeth because it does have seed missiles on it, which basically target radar, and Macbeth is a radar unit, so that Ka-52 had a very good chance of actually destroying my AA. But now with my 3D Baz in the open, I am going to just put some smoke over it just to sort of give it some cover, just in case any airstrikes come in, because I saw they already used a Su-25, so I was wary that they would do so again. But my infantry making great progress, the Zanhanems and the Revet 90 with the help of the Magak, doing a really good job. The Su-24M comes in, does manage to get away from my only Macbeth there. The other Macbeth is, I think, destroyed. Did I lose a second Macbeth? I must have at this point, because yeah, we only have one currently in this forest, so I think I was being very careful with my 3D Baz not to push it forwards at the moment, just keeping it in the open and smoked. So I've got my C-Fan back in the center at Alpha now, just to provide some good recon for Valh, even though he's got his own green jackets here. Unfortunately, he lost his position on the left side at Foxtrot because he just got completely overwhelmed by Derek S there, since we had completely focused in the center on the right. So now Hawk 51 coming in with the two 500 kilogram bombs. Going to do quite a lot of damage to my infantry. Unfortunately, my larvae goes down to the two MiG-29 913s, which is not ideal, but well, there's not really much I can do about that. As soon as I spotted those, I was going to try and get the larvae out of there, but it's just too late. Two MiGs are going to do the damage quick enough. So now I'm moving these Zanhanem 95s forwards. Going to try and take out this Conquer's M squad that's trying to retreat. VDV 90 also running away as well from this compound, knowing that I am going to advance into it very, very hard with the support of my 3D Baz. So they're just trying to get out there as soon as possible, but the Macaque 6 Gal and the 3D Baz now have their number, and those VDV 90 aren't going to make it away anytime soon. So as soon as the Zanhanem get into the compound there, then they are going to reveal them and allow us to get the last shot, which will kill off both of the VDV. So there goes one squad, and the Zanhanem finish off the last one, and you can tell that they died because they ranked up. a good way of telling actually if a infantry squad gets a kill often, is they will actually rank up from doing so. So I think if I go into maybe neutral perspective, yeah, the VDV squad's just dead there, just to prove that point. So in the center, Valh's actually making quite good progress. He is managing to get the mini-me on target of this Mi-8T and going to stun it. So mini-me going to try and do as much damage as possible before the Mi-8T is removed from there. But the SES are going to shoot that down with their anti-air missile. Magak now firing at BTRDs on this road. I'm going to get a kill there. Wonderful shot. So now Valh has moved into reinforcements to the left side here. He's got Fusilier 90s. These are great for defending the road because they do have the Law 80, which is a really high AP power heat rocket, which is great for like killing APCs and stuff that would be coming down this road. And he's also got Centurion Mark 5s, which are great because they have 4 HE power, so fantastic against infantry and stuff. Also at that close range, like a Centurion Mark 5 is going to do enough damage to destroy an APC. So now I think I had a Baz there. Unfortunately, it did get taken down by the MiG-29 913s, but we actually shot down both of their MiGs for my Baz. So that was a really good trade there. I lost one of my many air superiority fighters, and they lost both of theirs. They're only air superiority fighters most likely, because generally on that deck, like, you wouldn't take more than the 2 MiGs as your air superiority fighters. Whereas with Israel, it's a bit different. You have more multi-role fighters available. So Valh's commandos here going to try and do a good amount of damage to these VDV 90, but SU-24M going to come in and spoil the day with a lovely bombing strike onto his infantry. It did manage to do quite a lot of damage there, but actually missed the majority of his squads, which was quite lucky. And now what we're doing, me and Valh, we're sort of discussing about what we want to do next. So our strategy from the beginning of the game was to secure Bravo and Alpha, and then push around from Bravo to Delta. That was the overall strategy that we were going for throughout the game. Now, we didn't expect to lose Foxtrot so easily, so that was a bit of a change of plan. But what I started to do in this sort of mid part of the game was start to commit more forces to the center. So I have these Exarets, and they do have a large amount of armor. The Exarets have 10 front armor and 5 side armor, and you can see they are being hit by ATGMs. And I've got to be careful about that. Obviously, they're taking ATGM side shots. I just try and drop out the rivets before they get hit by another shot from the Milan, but unfortunately, I do so just a bit too late, and I don't spot the Milan coming in onto the second set of Exarets quick enough. So I think I just about managed to drop out the Rovate 90s in the second lot quick enough, as they didn't lose as many men. But now they're just going to have to walk to these compounds, and the Exarets are sitting out in the open. So I'm just having to be wary of that now, Valh marking those for us so that we know where they are. So he's going to be moving up some green jacket with a Challenger 1 Mark 1 to basically take on the T-55 Recon that's sitting in that little forest there. And then we will obviously try and take out the ATGM at some point as well. That's just so that we can continue to reinforce the center without having to worry about the side shots of those ATGMs. So my Exaret is now moving into the forest now. The great thing about the Exaret is it does have 3 machine guns on it, which is very, very powerful against enemy infantry. And especially infantry that's already engaged by your infantry, because they won't like automatically fire their heat rocket at your Exaret unless they are targeted by the player themselves. But now we have some Hawks and an Avia 28 coming in, so the Hawks are going to drop their bombs, the 2 500 kilogram bombs each. I have my Kernas here. He's coming in with 2 electro-optical bombs, and he's going to blow up a lot of the reinforcing APCs there and infantry. So my Kernes, I believe, got out alive, but we did manage to shoot down, I think, one of theirs, possibly the Avia 28. MiG-25 PD coming in. Malaysia basically getting caught out here. That's a mortar carrier, and unfortunately, I accidentally microed it across the open here, and it got shot. Surprise, surprise. Because the idea of that mortar was literally just to work with my 3D Baz so that I could keep it alive against enemy airstrikes. That's basically the entire reason that I had that mortar on hand. And now I kind of threw that away, and later on in the game I found that because I didn't have it, it was actually quite annoying. So I'm sending my Merkava 2A to sort of explore into the forest here. He is going to take side shots from the XA-185KT with that Pushmaster 2 autocannon. But as soon as he turns his front armor, the Merkava 2 is going to be able to take out that opponent. The Akzaret's surviving a very long time against the Urals there. And now my Rovate's holding down the Panzari Yakari until Valh's commandos can come in and get on target. The Betgal is firing at the Panzer Yakaris on the right, and I'm also getting up another Akzaret to provide some fire support. And as you can hear, the machine gun fire opening up from the top of this APC does an absolute ton of damage to enemy infantry. So we are going to take out that squad, and that's a really nice kill there. Rovate 90 is being engaged by Spetsnaz now. Those napalm infantry, not very nice to deal with. But we took out both of their Panzari Yakari squads, so that was a very nice trade, honestly. These Commando 90s that Valh are using are extremely cost effective. Really, really nice units. So ideally what I want to do here is get the Akzarets to engage the Spetsnaz, because the Spetsnaz have obviously the napalm rockets and they'll waste a lot of them against an Akzaret. Over here I want to be careful that the Conquer-Zem does not kill off my Bet-Gal, but I don't think I necessarily noticed this engagement happening immediately. And what I wanted to do was get my 3D Baz to move up and take out the Conquer-Zem. Fortunately, Conquer-Zem missed its second shot against the Bet-Gal. But Valh there just covering off the APC squad with his smoke as my 3D Baz moved up, so I lost line of sight on it, which is a bit unfortunate. Now MiG-25 PD is going to go up against the Tornado F2, but the Eurofighter has got the Tornadoes back, so the MiG going to go down very easy. Now the Eurofighter Typhoon going to try and fly away, but the MiG-25D or 25PD has its number, and the MiG-25 PD is going to shoot down the Eurofighter. That's not often you see that happen. So that was a pretty unfortunate loss for Valh there. Not entirely sure we were too happy about that. But a really nice trade for the enemy. So in the centre, Valh making great use of his mortar to cover his Commandos 90. Now he's got the Saxons moving in with the M2 Browning machine guns to cover off those squads. I'm slowly building up a force of AA and tanks on the right. Got the BTR 152 TCM replacements, and I've also got another Macbeth replacement. And now I'm starting to bring in all of my infantry. So I had sort of floated quite a bit of points here, but it does allow me to bring all of those units in at once in order to push onto the enemy. So I am going to get the kill there onto the Su-24. Hawk 51 coming in as well. My Macbeth trying to get over here as quickly as possible. One of the Hawk 51 does go down, and the Avia 28 coming along with its bombs is going to get shot down by the Track Rapier FSAs. My Macbeth takes a side shot from the T-55M. Fortunately, does have enough time to get behind cover again and stay out of trouble. But I am going to be forced to bring in some resupply in order to fix that up. And now we have an IL-102 on the way towards the centre. And I have a second 3D Baz moving across to the right side. Pretty safe to do this. Pretty risky position, honestly, to have it, but I'm pretty safe there because I have the cover of the town, and Also, I know that the majority of the infantry is not going to be close enough, and the 3D Baz can deal with infantry very well. But the bombing strike there from the IL-102 does kill both of the tracked rapiers of Valh, but we did trade the aircraft, so it's very much worth it in our favour. Now I have my Rivet 90s here, taking down the XA-180s as they approach this compound. I'm not entirely sure if these guys had infantry in them, but it was definitely a good job that I had this Rivet 90 squad in that compound, just to make sure that they didn't actually get any infantry into it, because once the enemy get infantry into this compound, it makes Alpha a lot harder to like remain uncontested. And as soon as you like have a 2-point sector that is uncontested, or that is contested, it's just incredibly annoying because it swings a 2-point lead in either favour. The Chieftain Mark 5s here really paying off with that 4 HE power onto the Pansari Kari squads. So those guys dying very, very quickly. Enemy trying to use smoke to cover off their infantry, but not quick enough, unfortunately. My Betgal does go down on the left side of this forest, but we do manage to take down another bomber. The 3D Baz is going to be using its ATGMs to try and take out this T55M Matty. But the Chieftain Marks 5, with the help of the Milan 2s, they're going to be able to do that job. Kernas coming in is going to get shot down, unfortunately, by the MiG-25 PD, but did land another lovely bombing strike into this forest. So a great job done there. And now this T55M going to get hit hard by the Milan 2 and the Chieftain Mark 5s. So Valh doing a great job to maintain centre control at the moment, whilst I continue to build up forces on the right side. He's also joining me over on this right side with the 2 Challenger 2s. You can see waiting there in order to advance into Delta. And once we do advance into Delta, this is intended to be a killing blow. If it kind of fails, then it can be a big issue, because if they have forces on the left and they sort of concentrate from that direction, all our resources would have been wasted on the right and we will almost collapse. So yeah, it's kind of important that Valh does have this center control, which is why he's investing so much into it. But we also need to make sure that this push actually goes through on the right in order to win the game. Because currently we're sitting at 30 points over there, none. And the points aren't going anywhere at the moment because there's no difference. But the great thing about Valh's positioning here is he does have these Milan 2s. So ATGMs are great area of denial like units. And I would always recommend that you have like a unit of ATGMs on your deck, just because they can be incredibly versatile. Even if they're just destroying APCs, they can be very useful. Like, they always pay themselves off, it seems, if you put them in really sort of good locations, like in smart locations. They will generally pay themselves off quite well, and they can be an absolute nuisance for the enemy. So they're great at like sort of stopping APCs, for example, rushing down this road into Alpha, because half of the APCs will get destroyed and then all of the infantry gets left out in the open, and so on and so on. All right, that's how it really works out. So an F-18C now in the sky. Got to be very careful about that. And I'm telling Valh to be a bit patient on this right side with his Challenger 2, but he's going to move the Challenger 2 up to try and save his squad. Unfortunately, not in time. Now the enemy moving through the smoke in order to push onto this compound. My son Hanim's being shelled by artillery fire when that attack comes in. So that was a really nice move actually from Tide here, using that smoke to cover off his units, but unfortunately is going to move them into sight of the Mark 5s. And once that occurs, well, the HE power is going to absolutely tear to shreds the Spetsnaz. So very unfortunately did manage to get those Spetsnaz caught out, because that was his best chance at destroying the rest of my infantry. So Su-27M coming in. Got to be very careful about that, but they do get it very low on health, and it does go down to the Tornado F2s, so Or actually, did that get away? I think it might have actually gotten away. But either way, with the SU-27M on such low health, that means it's going to take absolutely ages to repair. And therefore, it's time for us to attack. Because with that SU-27M down, you know, we're going to have a massive window in which we can safely move forwards the majority of our tanks. So now in the center, the enemy are going to take out my HVMS and my Macbeth here. The VDV did manage to get into position here and unfortunately are going to take out these reinforcing units that were initially going to head to the right, but obviously since they took over this compound I completely forgot these units would use this road. So I'm just going to have to continue the attack without them, and as you can see here, Valh is going to be moving forwards his TH-495s with the Canadian rifles, and I'm going to be moving forwards my Hammers with the Exarets. This Mi-8 KT, that really did an absolute ton of damage to my infantry, unfortunately, and caught them out in the open. But here on this side, I'm just going to try and continue to move forwards my Exarets as far as I can. But the enemy artillery is really going to stunt that, so the majority of it's going to get hit very, very hard. Now, what I probably should have done in this situation is possibly left my infantry in the Exarets, because the Exarets are incredibly armored, right? So the artillery doesn't actually do too much damage to the APCs, it just stuns them. So what would have been better so that I could have moved through this place without taking too much damage would have been leaving them in the Exarets, because for example, just then, the bomb comes down, the Exarets don't even die to that bomb. Now here, unfortunately, the SU-25 did take out one of my Minerva 3Ds, which is unfortunate, but the Macbeth's going to pay for that. We're going to make the SU-25 get shot down, and that was a relatively good trade, I guess. It allows Valh's Challenger 2s to move up, basically uncontested, and the only thing they've really got to worry about is this T-72, but that's just going to be taken out by the Jaguar GR1s, and they even get a second shot onto an APC on the road there, so really, really nice. 3D Baz is going to be taking on the T-72 M1 mod, and is going to shoot that and destroy it. So my Exaret's going to be fast moved up this road. The reason I did that just to give my 3D Baz some line of sight. Macbeth on the right is going to be able to save itself against the XA-185 KT, and also managed to deal with this BMP quite nicely. Then also helps with shooting down an enemy aircraft. So those Macbeths doing work, keeping the skies clear for Valh's tanks. The majority of my infantry got absolutely wrecked in that engagement, which does mean that I didn't really have much to play with in this engagement, but the Avia 28 going to go down there as well, and Valh's Challenger 2 is going to continue the push. So we still have 3 heavy tanks here. I also have the BTR 152 TCM to take care of infantry and helicopters. Unfortunately, the KTs are going to do a lot of damage to that and destroy it. Got my Baz flying about. Going to tell that to target the Mi-24 VP I spotted on the right side of the map, just so that that doesn't come in and flank either my Macbeths or the Minerva 3D Baz. We'd have to be pretty lucky to actually shoot down my Macbeths before we shot it down, but either way we still need to try and get that kill, just to get rid of that threat. So the Mi-8 TKT coming up, and that can be a problem. Fortunately, I have a Macbeth ready to shoot down any targets like that. And well, Valh's Challenger 2's a bit shaken up, so he is going to be retreating those for now, get them out of such a compromising position. He's now got multiple Lynx AH-7s moving up, and these are to basically take this town at the backside of Delta, and once we do so, we will have a very good foothold in that sector. So that's what we're really looking forward to, and we've done very well so far. Honestly, getting this far into Delta is really good, because it's already given us a place where we can contest this sector. So gonna shoot down the HH-10 there to get rid of that and stop it from hitting my Minerva 3D. So the Baz doing a great job. is going to get hit by one missile from the Su-27M, and the second one almost hit in time, but looks like my Baz got out alive. So my two Macbeths still alive. Valh has brought in a HQ section in order to contest Delta, but unfortunately this artillery is a little bit of a problem at the moment. The AH-7s are going to be going for the kills onto the Su-23-2s. This can happen because the Urals are unarmoured, so basically the AH-7s with those 68mm rocket pods can take out that AA very easily. So a very interesting choice of unit there for the enemy. If they had something like a Tunguska, it would have been no contest. Both of those AH-7s would have been shot down in no time. But because of the sort of lower quality AA there, it was much easier for us. So the SAS going to take out one of the XA-185s. And then finish off with a second kill there, which is really good because those APCs can be really annoying to deal with. Those Bushmaster cannons can really tear enemy, like your own sort of APCs to shreds, and also do a lot of damage to tanks if they hit them in the right place. But seeing their impending doom, it looks like Derek S did surrender and leave the game, leaving Tide to pick up the pieces. So we're making great progress into Delta. A Yurikari squad, all that's left of Derek's army. Got the XA-185KT here as well. That was an attack order from myself with the Kernas, just showing Valh where I was about to bomb. Just trying to maybe CV snipe, because currently we've neutralized Delta due to having a contesting CV, but what would be great is if we could find the enemy CV and destroy that. So the Su-27M coming in again, going to get very low on health and evac, so we're not going to see that for a while. Two helicopters coming in are going to get shot down with the help of the SAS. So great job all round so far. Macbeth going to take down the MI8 MTV, but just like that, Tide surrenders. He realizes it's too much, and we win the game, myself and Valh, in 28 minutes and 5 seconds. So pretty awesome game. Valh did incredibly well. The 2,810 kills to 1,200 losses. My losses were considerably higher and my kills a little bit less, so I didn't do so well. But my Macbeths, they really paid off. You can see this one Macbeth got a K52 kill, Su-24M, IL-102, Su-25, MiG-25 PD, Hawk 51. Like those, the value of what that Macbeth killed is crazy. My Kernas got a nice amount of kills. This second Macbeth here did alright. The 3D Baz got a nice amount of kills. So yeah, we did relatively okay. My infantry was what really let me down and honestly cost me a lot of those losses. But either way, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this war game commentary. I mean, it's been a long time since I've done one, and I hope to get them back on track and do them much more often. They do take quite a toll on my voice, so I have to be quite careful about it. But I'll definitely try and do like at least one every other day, but I really want to do one a day. Like that's really what I'm aiming for, and that would be really awesome for you guys, because I know that a lot of you who watch my channel really enjoy Wargame. So I really want to bring it back in a large, basically in a large fashion, like just go all out. So hopefully you guys look forward to that. Check out the comment to get your VIP beta key for Steel Division. In the meantime though, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.